Don't wait. I'm seriously, do not wait.
Jorge, you're going to share your story and say, how no live sessions with me, just listening to audios with some training, and kind of, tell the world how's this worked for you. So, how did you find, tell me about, a little bit about your background and then how you came across and, the self-hypno, how that got started.
Well, I'm like you said, I'm from Mexico. I was born and raised in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I work in real estate in sales.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that for like 2 years. Before that, I was in fitness. I did it for a long time. I was, you could say, I was very successful. I like to be an innovator.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few years ago, about 2 years ago, I found out about John from MLD,
Yep.
Modern Life Dating.
Our good friend.
And then I saw an interview with you and him. You were in his show,
Mm-hmm.
and you were talking about clearing trauma and how people actually were changing their behavior because it was coming from their core beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I always had some issues because people were telling me, dude, you have so much potential, but we just don't see it getting to that level where you should be, where you could be.
Wow. So you were told that just your whole life, or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, from different people, like, oh, you could be doing this, you could be doing that. And I, to be honest, I was trying, but at the same time, I felt stuck. And I always felt like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I not where I should be?
And how were you stuck, and what do you think it was that made you stuck?
I think a lot of it was toxic shame, a lot of core beliefs that I had since I was a child. We grew up.
And you mean subconscious, of course.
Subconscious, yeah, subconscious. Stuff that you learn that you're not important, that you don't deserve good things, because, those were the messages that I was given as a kid in different ways, overtly and covertly.
That's when all this core stuff forms, and then it's there the rest of our life unless we change it with some of these methods. But go ahead.
Yeah. I had a lot of issues about rejection. I couldn't take rejection very well. And in any form, I'm not talking about just women or dating. I'm talking about sales. If I didn't, if I made a sales appointment and the prospect wouldn't show up, I would feel like, what's wrong with me? I couldn't verbalize it, but that's how we feel. And it happened with women as well. I would start, very charming. In many occasions, I would close on the first or second date.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would ghost me, or they would break up with me because they said I was too nice. And to be honest, I was trying to get them to like me by being nice to them. I wasn't being
validation
nice.
Seeking.
Exactly. I was seeking validation.
And that is, I don't feel good enough just for who I am. I need their validation.
Exactly.
To be good enough.
I wasn't being, it wasn't genuine, it wasn't real nice. I was being nice because I wanted something back. So that's not being nice. That's
called a covert contract.
Exactly. Being a manipulator. And then when I went into the first session, the first time I listened to the audio, it brought up some deep rooted stuff, man. Like the first time I was crying big time.
You got to feel it to heal it.
I went back to work, and a couple of days later, I'm talking to my business partner in the real estate firm, and he tells me, "You look different. You don't seem like you're jumpy. You look like very peaceful." And
I've had people do sessions with me just on that. They're like, my friend's different. He's like super confident now. I want that. Can I do a session? Yeah. Okay, go. Yeah. Keep going. And he noticed.
And then he heard me make some phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm making a couple of phone calls, sales phone calls, and he said, man, that's a big difference. I mean, we keep each other, accountable, giving each other feedback all the time to improve.
That's
but
good.
He said, you sounded like you were telling the dude, I'm giving you a chance for something good. You didn't sound like you were begging him, like, oh, please buy this for me. This is going to be really good. I really need this commission. He said, you sounded completely different. And I've been able to make connections that way with different people.
Yeah.
And currently I'm after 2 commissions that might add up to around $30,000.
We're going to wrap it up, but just what would you say to anyone thinking of, who doesn't have confidence or is struggling in some other way, doesn't feel good enough, or a poverty mindset, whatever else they're struggling with? What would you say to them if they're thinking of like getting my course or doing a session with me? What would you tell them?
You cannot afford not to do this for your life. I mean, honestly, if you want to live your best possible life, it doesn't matter what you read. It doesn't matter, how many conferences you go to, how many podcasts you listen to. If you don't fix the inner part of yourself, your inner core beliefs, nothing is going to change, because you're going to find a way, because of what you believe deep inside of you, to sabotage yourself, and you're never going to reach that potential.
Amazing. So it's an honor and a privilege. Thank you for doing this interview, sharing this with other guys. You're doing a service for other guys who struggle and are looking to up level. Any final thoughts for anyone on of our YouTube audience?
Don't wait. I'm seriously, do not wait. If you're thinking, oh, I don't have the money, find the freaking way to get the money. Go mow lawns, go wash cars, whatever. This is going to be the best investment you can do in your life, because it's going to be in yourself.
And it sounds like you believe in it too, and I'm glad you've seen the results. I'm on a mission to help men who don't feel good enough to get exactly to where you are, and even beyond, because you're going to move forward too. You're not staying where you're at.
No.
So my honor, my pleasure. Amazing. I appreciate you sharing this. Thank you, Jorge, and we'll end now, but thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Anytime.
Okay. Thank you.